everybody, and welcome back to TJ's Talk Show. Today we got a pretty full lineup on deck for today's episode. First off, we're going to talk about the Braves, and they made a little bit of a splash last night in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals. The Braves acquired left-handed starting pitcher Jaime Garcia, and the Braves gave up some middle tier prospects, pitching prospects, and then an infielding prospect. So that's pretty much where the trade went. On the Brave side, you got a veteran starting pitcher that you were looking for to add on to your already young and new rotation. And now recently, in the last few weeks, the Braves have added R.A. Dickey, Bartolo Colon, and now Jaime Garcia. So to put those three with Foltynewicz and Julio Teheran really squares up this five-man rotation. And this also lets the Braves really dictate on how much they want to use Matt Whistler and Aaron Blair this coming season, both who made some progress in their MLB dream chase. They both had some outings last year. So this is a chance to put them back in AAA, let them polish some more stuff before sticking in the MLB. And the Braves didn't give up a whole lot. Like I said, a couple mid-tier pitching prospects, one being John Gant and the other Chris Ellis, both right-handed pitchers, who, they're just guys that can fill the rotation. They both project to be bottom of the rotation guys, maybe some decent relief guys, but I mean, as far as projectabilities, those guys aren't going to be your top end of the rotation, so to speak. So, and then they also gave up Luke Dykstra, who was an infielder who hit 304 last year in Class A Rome, but with the middle infield and just the infield in general, the young infield that the Braves have with Albies and Swanson, and just a bunch of guys that they brought in, and now you just added Sean Rodriguez that they signed last week. It's really turning into a logjam. Plus Dykstra, yes, he hit 304, but he only had a 696 OPS because, he only had 6 walks and 18 extra base hits in 342 plate appearances. So not a guy that really gets on base as well as the Braves wanted. So that's pretty much the big trade. There is a little bit of a question mark around Garcia. He does tend to be a little injury prone. So he has yet to make 20 starts over the last 5 seasons. So there's an endurance factor that's definitely a question mark. But even if Garcia can put together 15, 20 starts throughout the season and really push Whistler and Blair towards August, September to return back to the major league level, I think that could do a lot of good for them. And then, you could also flip Garcia, which I think is definitely an opportunity that could happen. And that's my next topic on going after this trade, is how does it affect the future plans of the Braves? Because now you just added three starting pitchers, all with good experience. You can definitely dangle a few of them because, R.A. Dickey can eat innings, Bartolo eats innings. Jaime Garcia is your left-handed guy who does have some speculations around him, but if he can produce the first half of the season, I think he can definitely help his own trade stock. And the Braves gave up 2 guys that middle of the pack basically as prospects, and they still got Sean Newcomb, Max Fried, Tuki Toussaint, Patrick Weigel. So guys with a much higher ceiling who could be in the show the next couple years. Their development doesn't change here, doesn't really go anywhere different. So, but like I said, now you can trade maybe R.A. Dickey and Jaime Garcia and maybe a Whistler or Blair for maybe your Chris Sale or your Chris Archer that the Braves have so hard been trying to get without giving up too much. So that's pretty much where that goes, and that's the news for the Braves, and no major MLB free agent signing. So the Braves kind of being active and staying active right now is the only team that really makes some major moves. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. And now let's move a little bit to the NBA. I heard a couple days ago on there's a rumor that maybe Alan Crabb could be on the move. I know earlier in the week I talked about maybe him going to Sacramento. But there is a little bit of a rumor saying he could be going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia obviously having problem scoring, and the Braves have a problem at the interior position. So the rumor so far has been Alan Crabb for Nerlens Noel, which is an intriguing trade because Nerlens Noel is a defensive first guy, so he can definitely fill the paint, block shots, grab rebounds, do everything you need him to do on the defensive end. But he's no slouch on the offensive side either. I mean, he's not going to light it up for 28 a game, but when you got Lillard and McCollum, you don't need a guy to go get you 28 down low. You can be happy with his 10 and 10 that he might give you on a nightly basis and go that route. So that's definitely something that could be happening. Also very intriguing. Nerlens Noel is yet to play this season, but I mean, there's a big logjam at the big man positions for the 76ers with Embiid, Okafor, Ilyasova, Hollis Thompson, guys like that, and then you just add Nerlens Noel when he gets healthy. That's a lot of minutes to fight for. So that's definitely a possibility. And then I don't really think the Blazers have to give up McCollum or add too many other pieces for that Nerlens Noel trade. So that's definitely something the Blazers could really look at. Staying in the NBA, not so much trade talk, but more just the freak of nature Russell Westbrook is, and his triple-double streak, which currently stands at 4 straight games with a triple-double. I believe he is averaging a triple-double on the season, which has not happened since, I believe it's 1964-65, and it was Oscar Robertson who averaged a triple-double, and Russell Westbrook is right now on the same pace, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists a game. So dude is doing everything he can to make sure the Thunder stay on the top half of the competitive Western Conference. Right now they're sitting at 12-8. So, I mean, he's definitely doing his part, but the real question is how long can Russell Westbrook keep up this triple-double pace? I mean, dude's basically got to do everything himself anyway, so that's definitely something to keep an eye out. I mean, he doesn't really have any real help on the side. I mean, he's got Victor Oladipo, but he's been inconsistent. Ernest Cantor, I mean, he's not an offensive threat. Steven Adams, Sabonis. I mean, there's a lot of guys that aren't really, guys that you wouldn't want to guard. I mean, I totally would have no problem leaving those guys open and making them make the shots around Westbrook and force Westbrook to dish the ball and make someone else other than Russell Westbrook beat you. I mean, they're 12-8. Westbrook's probably the key to winning all 12. 4 straight double-doubles, triple doubles, like I already mentioned. And I mean, let's just look at this next few games for the Thunder. They're off until Sunday, and they play at home against New Orleans. Definitely, I think something that could be, I think it could go to a 5th straight triple-double, because New Orleans, I mean, their point guards and small guards aren't really defensive specialists. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, and we all know Westbrook is an absolute freak when he puts his mind on scoring the basketball. So you're definitely not gonna stop him. The best you can do is try to contain him. But he's very aggressive. He's gonna get his rebounds, gonna get his assists. Well, hopefully his assists, because you gotta force the other guys to make their shots. So, but obviously you're gonna leave your guy to go help on Westbrook, because that's just the threat he poses all the way around the court. So his triple-double streak is definitely going to continue to go. The threat of it anyway is going to be there every game, and His last triple-double actually put him 6th all-time in triple-doubles. So the guy is playing out of his mind. He just passed LeBron James all-time for triple-double. So that just goes to tell you what this guy does on a basketball court. I mean, he's second in the league right now in scoring. He only trails Anthony Davis, who he will show down against on Sunday. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Their next game after Sunday would be Monday at Atlanta. And Dennis Schroeder, I mean, guy's not just a nobody, but he's not going to be able to contain Westbrook from doing what he wants all the way around the court. So that's another triple-double that I can easily see. The only part would be the rebounding side, because you got Dwight and Millsap for Atlanta that get a lot of rebounds, and they really do a good job of boxing out. So that'll definitely be something Westbrook's going to work a little bit harder for, in my opinion. Friday, the 9th, they play Houston, and I mean, he's going to have to go against Patrick Beverley, who's a defensive specialist. So that's definitely the matchup that I'm going to be looking forward to the most out of these next 3 games for the Thunder and Westbrook, because Beverley's not going to make it easy. I mean, he's not going against James Harden. If he was going against James Harden, I'd probably put Westbrook at like 50 points, because we all know Westbrook's one of the best scoring guys in the league, and Harden's one of the worst defensive guys in the league. So that's definitely the matchup I'm looking forward to most is Westbrook versus Beverley on the 9th of December. That'll be this coming Friday. But I mean, realistically, I don't see why not his triple-double streak doesn't get close to 10, because there's really nobody in this league that's shown they can stop him. So that's definitely the interesting part of the NBA, at least this part in the season. I mean, we're only 20 games in, so anything can still happen. But let's see how Russell Westbrook, his triple-double streak continues. I got a couple minutes left. Let's quickly jump into the NFL. Last night, the Dallas Cowboys won a close game against the Vikings, 17-15. And what that does is puts Dallas pretty much the number 1 seed in the NFC. I believe they need a little bit of help. They need I think they need a couple of teams to lose for sure. The Lions would probably be one that needs to lose, and maybe the Falcons. If either one of those lose here in the next couple of weeks, I think Dallas locks up the number 1 spot. They're 11-1. Minnesota falls to 6-5, but that's, I believe, their 4th straight loss. So, I mean, they're falling off the horse. They're 2 games out of first place against the Lions, who are sitting at 7-4. So right now you have the 4 conference or division leaders: the Cowboys, the Lions, the Atlanta Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC. The next in line for the wild card would be the New York Giants, and most likely the Minnesota Vikings. In the AFC, you have 2 teams tied for first place: the New England Patriots and the Oakland Raiders. That's right, the Oakland Raiders. Going in, the rest of the AFC North leading team, right now there's a tie between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I believe Baltimore has a tiebreaker as of right now, so they would be the North champion. And then the Houston Texans are currently winning in the South, but who knows, that South division is very close. Indianapolis 5-6, Tennessee 6-6, Houston 6-5. So that's definitely a division up for grabs. But I definitely think 2 teams from the AFC West come out of the playoffs this year. With the Chiefs at 8-3 currently, and the Broncos 7-4. The Raiders have to play both teams one more time in those last 5 games. So it's definitely something to definitely take a look at. Very intriguing last five weeks, which should be a good one. So let's keep an eye on that. But unfortunately, that's all the time I have today. Thank you guys for listening to TJ's Talk Show, and have a great week, and I'll see you Monday.